MrBeast is once again in headlines along with Logan Paul and KSI due to mold apparently being in their new Lunchly products.
This is mold in the cheese.
I open up my Lunchy, right? I look, and there's mold.
An upset parent just posted these pictures that they took the Lunchly home and it was full of mold and it had a terrible smell.
I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
This is how the story goes.
So I'm sure you're well aware of who Logan Paul, MrBeast, and KSI are, and out of the three of them, I would say that MrBeast and Logan Paul have had the most issues lately, but MrBeast, I would say, far exceeds Logan Paul's, at least with all of the information recently being revealed, which I have done a video on if you want to know more. So for those of you who do not know what Lunchly is, picture Lunchables, but it's made by YouTubers that get really mad when you compare it to Lunchables, even though they themselves compare it to Lunchables and talk about how much better than Lunchables it is.
Lunchly versus Lunchables. All right, we'll start off with the Lunchables.
Bro, I'm sorry, that's trash.
Crunch bar. Feastables Crunch Bar.
If you go over to their website, it has a brand story that says, Lunchly is changing the grab-and-go game with an innovative approach that prioritizes quality ingredients and delicious flavors. We're here to fuel your fun from the lunchroom to the break room by packing every Lunchly box with a Prime hydration and a Feastables bar. Prime is a drink that is by Logan Paul, by the way. They've collaborated on this. Driven by our commitment to great quality and taste, we're confident there's no better value on the market. Remember, leave no crumbs. Team Lunchly. I cannot think of a worse situation than saying quality is a priority and then sending out moldy cheese. This sounds like it's going in the direction of the pink sauce situation. Now, I'm pretty sure that the last time I've discussed MrBeast on this channel was either right before or right after they launched the Lunchly product, because I only made a brief mention about it in that video due to the fact that, one, the announcement came out as I was editing that video, and two, to be completely honest, compared to everything else going on with MrBeast at the time, and still going on since he's never really addressed it, at least at the time of making this video, I did not and do not care that much that they basically made a Lunchable clone. I think the most annoying part about their marketing with this was that they were trying to claim how much healthier Lunchly was compared to Lunchables, as if for some reason Lunchables is the groundbreaking record that they need to beat.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese. Ooh. We're also 30 less calories, 3 less grams of fat, and 8 less grams of sugar. Turkey stack 'em! 310 calories.
230 calories.
21 grams of sugar.
Only 7 grams of sugar.
If you look at this close up, you can already tell which one has better ingredients.
Although considering how similar they are to each other, I can understand why they feel the need to break that record. But the thing is, the Lunchables isn't that healthy of a product, and I don't think Lunchables ever tries to pretend that it is. I at least never heard of that, but what I have heard of is how much better for you it is. It's not a healthy thing. Stop acting like it is. I think a lot less people would be upset about it if you just called a spade and said, listen, this is just another lunch product we're pushing out. It's slightly healthier than Lunchables, but it's not the best thing for you to eat. And the other reason why people were mad about this getting released, and this is why I covered it in my previous video, was the timing of everything. MrBeast had collaborated and made this Lunchly product with Logan Paul and KSI right after his giant scandals were being opened like Pandora's box, and before addressing any of that, he just launched another product, and that was actually the second product he launched after everything happened. The first were these toys, which I have heard rumors that a lot of places are sending them to liquidation places because they're not selling, but he was so eager to respond to a post made by Drama Alert that stated YouTubers are not happy with MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul's new product. MrBeast responded to that with, Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better for you alternative to it. Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes. We use real cheese. They use cheese product. They can't call it real cheese. Higher quality meat, etc. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good in my opinion, and why we launched Lunchly. Bro, the reason why you launched Lunchly is because you know your target audience and you thought that this would sell. Come on. Also, as we get economies of scale and can get things cheaper, we will only be improving the product more and more. Maybe that's why there might be mold in the product. Maybe they just need to upgrade the cheese.
cheese.
I'm kidding, but with that being said, let's actually get into this entire situation with people allegedly finding mold in these packages. So my first time hearing about this was on October 20th when Rosanna Pansino posted this on the Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, stating, "I tried Lunchly, it was moldy."
This is mold in the cheese, and this is really unhealthy. You should not eat mold. I don't know if this is an issue in their recipe development or packaging. I think it's a packaging issue. The sealant here feels really cheap, like whatever is holding this on the top. It is not vacuum tight. Oh, it's so much mold. This is terrible. All right, so those are the pizzas. Looks-wise, here are the two pizzas from Lunchables and Lunchly. Lunchly is covered in mold. I'm gonna ask you guys, which one would you rather eat? Which one would you give your kid? Both are a highly processed food snack, and one is extremely moldy.
Now, digging into this a little bit deeper, I found out that people were actually allegedly finding mold in their Lunchlys at least by or on October 1st, 2024. I first saw it through a post by Drama Alert, which states, "What appears to be mold was spotted in a Lunchly. It's not clear if the box was tampered with, as half of the items are removed." And this was a signal boosted post by somebody named CFCREC, which states, "Is this the product JJ is willing to for?" And yes, to be completely fair, we have not seen this person open the package that had the mold in it, so I very obviously cannot guarantee with 100% certainty that this wasn't tampered with in any way. With that being said, however, being that this is the first time I'm hearing about this after seeing the Rosanna Pansino video, after seeing several other videos, I definitely think that this is believable, and at this point I don't have much reason to doubt this person, but being that this was nearly a month ago, a lot of people did doubt them in the comments of this original post. Somebody commented underneath this stating, "Cool, you added something that looks like mold after opening. They can sue you for this, you know." And he replied with, "Sure, buddy." Another person stated, "That just means it's real. Also, cheese molds when it's not stored properly. Not Lunchly's fault." And then another person says, "Cheese is basically mold, lol. I'm calling cap." Now I have to get this out of the way because this is an argument that is being regurgitated over and over again by who I assume are kids who continue to shamelessly defend MrBeast, KSI, Logan Paul, and Lunchly. First of all, not all cheese is mold. There are certain cheeses made with a molding process, such as blue cheese for example. Cheeses that have a molding process are done so with the intention of increasing a flavor or a texture, but most importantly, this isn't just any type of cheese and this isn't just any type of mold. This is done through a process that makes it safe to consume. They don't just allow any mold to grow on blue cheese and say, "Yep, that's it, we're gonna ship it off to the store." They actually put something in it called Penicillium roqueforti. I probably mispronounced that. That's at least according to a video by Quest TV titled "How Blue Cheese is Made." No, my brain is not a vault of hidden knowledge on cheeses. I just looked up how blue cheese is made and it sent me to this video.
To make cheese blue, you need to add mold, the second essential ingredient. The company uses a pure mold extract from Italy called Penicillium roqueforti.
So to nip this argument in the bud early so I don't have to reiterate it later, no, not all cheeses mold just because certain cheeses do use a molding process that is done by professionals in a contained area and the mold itself has been made in a very specific way and has been tested for safety, does not mean that the moldy cheese coming from these packages is safe to eat. I genuinely have no idea why that is so hard for people to comprehend. But for future reference throughout the remainder of this video, if you hear me talking about somebody who says, "Oh, all cheese is just mold, so it's fine if the Lunchlys have mold in it," please refer back to this timestamp and rewatch if you need to have your memory refreshed. You are putting yourself at risk if you see random mold in something that it should not be in and eat it anyway. That could make you very, very sick. Do not do that. Anyway, going back to this original tweet, like I mentioned, this was brought to people's attention on October 1st, 2024. For reference, that was about 20 to 21 days ago. Meaning to me that if this was legitimate and this person was telling the truth and shared this with social media and this was not tampered with in any way, they had at least 20 days to do something about it. But as of less than 24 hours ago at the time of filming this, they were still promoting Lunchly on their Instagram stories, which indicates to me that they don't have any plans of recalling things or taking things off the shelves, etc. There have been some updates to this situation though. But first, Being a victim of a serious injury isn't just a painful experience, it can also be an extremely stressful one. One day, a teacher was on her way home from work while she was getting off of the highway and heading towards a stoplight. When she approached the stoplight, her car was rear-ended by a distracted driver. This caused her 2 injuries, one in an area between her spine and her pelvis, and another injury in her neck. Due to these injuries, she was having trouble with stability and pain management, especially while sitting and walking. And this ultimately affected her ability to continue doing her job that she loved, teaching her class. When fighting for compensation, she was originally offered $200,000 for her life-altering injuries. But with Morgan & Morgan fighting for her, they took the case to trial and they ended up achieving $2.6 million instead. If you've ever gotten into an accident, your injury could be worth millions, and Morgan & Morgan has your back if you become their client. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over 1,000 lawyers working in all 50 states. And with dealing with cases, Morgan & Morgan doesn't just settle for lowball offers either. Morgan & Morgan has achieved significant verdicts for victims involved in life-altering injuries. This includes over $12 million in Florida, being 34 times the highest insurance offer, and $26 million in Philly, being 40 times the highest insurance offer. And the best part is, the fee is completely free unless you win your case. That means no expensive upfront charges. So like I said, if you ever got seriously hurt, your case could be worth millions. And you're only a few clicks away from potentially changing your life. And it's so easy to do. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/Mimi. You can find the link in the description below. Thank you so much to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's video. With that being said, moving on to some of the updates here. Rosanna Pansino had actually signal boosted a tweet that was in response to her tweet, but this stated, decided to have a look into all the Lunchly mold claims, and the common denominator is faulty glue application, most commonly along the longest side of the corner with the cheese. And as you can see, they have attached a picture where they have highlighted where it looks like the glue is missing from the packaging. That actually sounds pretty reasonable because if it's not sealed properly, moisture can get in and bacteria from other things around it can get in there, and that is just a breeding ground for mold. So yeah, while I can't guarantee that this is 100% accurate, that sounds like a very believable and reasonable explanation for why this occurred. Rosanna had made another tweet, and there's a few reasons why I find this one important to bring up. She states, so MrBeast's team is now trying to do damage control to the press. Did someone from MrBeast's team seriously just try to imply that I faked mold in the Lunchly I bought? Is their PR move going to be smearing me when there are dozens of other reports of mold in their food? Is this their mysterious spokesperson who always downplays serious allegations on Jimmy's behalf? And then she links the article while also sharing a screenshot of the article that states, in relation to Pansino's tweets, a source close to MrBeast's operation said to, quote unquote, consider this source. I think it is important to point out some very obvious things. Rosanna Pansino is not MrBeast's biggest fan. She has been a very big MrBeast detractor for a very long time at this point. Additionally, Dogpack404 and Jake Weddle made an appearance in this video, and they even made jokes about how totally not biased they are.
I've brought in the most unbiased panel to taste test and judge Lunchables versus Lunchly. All right, fellas, come on in. I've got the food in front of us here.
Which obviously in a situation like this, there is going to be bias because they have been personally affected in one way or another by MrBeast, but that's the point of the joke. Biased or not in this situation, they're still showing a MrBeast container that is full of mold, and unless there's some insane plot twist where it can be proven that there was tampering with the product in order to push this narrative, which I don't believe, by the way. One, that could get somebody sued, and I don't think they want to go down that path, especially with someone like MrBeast. And two, again, this is something that has been pointed out by several other people. And last but most importantly, Rosanna had uploaded an entire uncut version of her opening the Lunchly boxes after some people had accused her of tampering with them off screen because there were jump cuts in the finished video not showing her opening them all the way. So she posted the full raw, unedited clip of it to prove that she did not open the boxes prior and mess with anything. Again, this can't prove that prior to her purchasing the item that it was mishandled in any way by maybe the manufacturer or the grocery store, what have you. But from what we have access to publicly at this moment in time, it seems to be a glue issue with the packaging itself, where there is a sealing inconsistency that is allowing moisture to get into some of the packages, causing mold, allegedly. Anyway, back to my original point. So looking at this situation from a public perspective of somebody who is just commentating on this entire situation, is it possible that the person speaking on behalf of MrBeast is doing so with the intention to try and smear Rosanna Pansino because she has been very critical of MrBeast? I'd say yeah, that it definitely is possible that that could be the case, but I don't know that for sure. Taking a peek at the article that Rosanna had linked, it's titled MrBeast, Logan Paul's Lunchly called out over disgusting discovery. I love how they completely left out KSI in this. I kind of feel bad for him. In addition to the screenshot that Rosanna had posted, it also states in the article, in the YouTube video she uploaded, Pansino did not reveal where she had bought the Lunchly products from, but said, "We just got them from the store." She also didn't clarify how she had been storing the products before use. If not stored correctly, cheese can become moldy quite quickly. On the Lunchly website, the product descriptions read, "Keep refrigerated, do not freeze." So there is actually some clarification from Rosanna Pansino that wasn't mentioned in this article, which states, "Hey everyone, just a few things. 1. I did not fake this video. We bought this Lunchly from the store months before its expiration date and put it into our own fridge within 20 minutes. So she does clarify that she refrigerated it. Looking online, there are dozens of other people reporting moldy Lunchlys as well. How widespread is this? In a statement shared with Newsweek, a representative for Lunchly said, "All Lunchly products go through a stringent review process to ensure the quality and safety of its product. That process consists of multiple inspections and approvals, including that of the USDA, before any product can even leave the manufacturing facility." What's being said here is likely true, but after it leaves the facility, what is happening to it then? Once it reaches those trucks that take it to the grocery stores and once it hits the aisles, could there be an issue causing this cheese to become moldy as days pass, as they get transported, and as they reach the grocery stores? Especially if there is an issue or an inconsistency with the packaging. The second reason for me sharing this, however, is because somebody commented on that post, and Rosanna Pansino signal boosted that as well, and that post stated, "I work for a Kroger-based store in Washington State. We've gotten several calls to our store about the cheese in those trash meals being moldy, as well as several people bringing them back and getting refunds." Rosanna replied with, "Thank you for letting me know. I've been receiving other similar messages. Has anyone else found or seen mold in their Lunchly? I'm actually getting concerned, as it seems like there may be even more cases of moldy cheese." Now again, I want to clarify, as of right now, these are accusations, but we definitely have seen many videos of people opening up containers with moldy cheese.
I open up my Lunchly, right? I look, and there's mold. I'm not eating this. MrBeast, what did you do?
I like my cheese moldy, bruh, is what people are saying as they find more mold in Lunchlys.
Like I had mentioned in the beginning of this video, I had no intention of making a dedicated video on Lunchly or Lunchly products prior to all of this knowledge. It was annoying that MrBeast responded to backlash against Lunchly while still ignoring some much more serious things, and some other people have come out and discussed it, but at the end of the day, that's why I just briefly mentioned it in my previous video. I wasn't going to extend on it any further. With that being said, however, now that things have escalated this far, I regret so much that I didn't go to the store and try to look for these Lunchly products to do like a comparison video or something, because yesterday, after finding all of this out, I went to every single grocery store within like a 10 to 15 mile radius from me. I went to so many places yesterday looking for these Lunchly boxes.
Lunchables. Lunchables. That's lunch makers. Lunchables. Nothing. I'm so surprised. Although this looks like a small selection, I don't know if there's another spot. I wonder if this is like an expiration date thing though. No? You slap them. You sir. I'm getting these.
I looked everywhere and could not find them, and then I went onto the Lunchly website. I'm obviously not going to show you my exact location, but I live on the East Coast, and I checked not just my state, but surrounding states, and nothing would pop up. The only time something popped up was when I typed in like California. So I want to pass the question off on to you. If you live on the East Coast, have you seen Lunchlys in your store either before or after this controversy occurred? Because at this point, I don't know if they're being pulled from shelves or if they were just never stocked around here to begin with. And to make it perfectly clear, even if I were able to find one, I obviously wasn't intending on eating it. The purpose of me looking for one was to see with my own two eyes if it did or didn't have mold in it. I could think back and be like, man, I really should have done a Lunchly versus Lunchables comparison, but realistically, I didn't have any intention on doing that, so I wouldn't have bought it regardless. I just wish that I did in some weird universe that I could open a package up and see for myself if it had the mold in it, because I'm very, very curious. But don't get me mistaken here, just because I can't see it with my own two eyes doesn't mean I don't believe that there actually is mold in here. I'm saying the words allegedly throughout this video because all we have is public knowledge of the situation so far. I've seen some comments saying, oh, well, maybe it wasn't stored properly or something like that, which is always a possibility, but trying to pinpoint where this was not stored correctly, whether it be the manufacturer, the store that she bought it from, there's no way of being able to accurately tell. I would like to imagine that if it were from whatever store she purchased it from and whatever store everybody else purchased their products from, that if this was moldy, the other products in that store would be moldy as well. And I don't think that every single person who made a video talking about this and sharing their Lunchly footage, for a lack of a better term, all got it from the same store. That would be incredible odds if everybody got their moldy Lunchly container from the same exact store. It would make a reasonable excuse as to why it happened, because you could easily blame the store, but considering how many people have shared pictures and videos, I'm willing to bet that's likely not the case. On top of that, if that were the case for some reason, that still wouldn't be consistent, because at the end of Rosanna's video, she actually shows that they had bought another Lunchly with the pizzas, and that one didn't have any mold in it. So I'm really just poking holes in this hypothetical argument here, but I don't think everybody got them from the same store. Thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of this video, and thank you so much to everybody supporting me over on Patreon and through memberships. I will keep you updated if any more information develops on this situation, but for now, be careful what you eat, and I'll see you again very soon in another video.